Hello, it's Louise at Spiral Bright Insight. Happy New Year. I just wanted to come on and say hello. First of all, share a couple of Oracle card messages. And also, just check in really. So it's the first day of 2025. I have got a video which is it's in the making. I've not filmed it yet, but I've got all my sort of notes and ideas together, and I'm going to be talking about the main energies for 2025. Obviously, from an astrological perspective, bringing in a lot of the key fixed star alignments that we're going to be working with. But rather than do a kind of more generic, what's coming up in 2025 from a sort of generic astrological perspective, I've decided I'm going to focus very much on the star seeds and how I feel this is really, really an amazing year for starseed energies. Because, I feel we've done so much groundwork, particularly in 2024, but also, leading up to that year as well, to last year, in terms of seeding the star energies. And, I feel that we've got to the point where they are rooted now, and it is really time to start to allow them to rise, to bloom, to flourish. So this is no longer about being a star seed. This is actually taking it to the next level. And there's going to be lots of activations this year which enable and encourage and almost force us to do this. So very, very exciting year ahead. It's the 1st of January. I was just looking at the chart. The moon is in Aquarius today and has just gone past Pluto at 1 degrees of Aquarius. So, that is a really sort of beautiful start to the year in terms of focusing on the collective, on the future. Obviously, whenever we have a transition into a new year, we do very much sort of think about sort of saying, goodbye and what we've been grateful for in the last year, and really setting our intentions. That's what we want to bring in and focus on in 2025. So I think, the astrology for today kind of is perfect for that. We've also got the nodes now at 0 degrees Aries and Libra, which is where they're going to stay for the next 2 weeks. So again, this Aries, the 0 degree of Aries point is one that is going to be really, really important this year in 2025. Because we're starting off with the North Node sitting there, and obviously as we move through, Saturn and Neptune are both going to move into Aries, so they will activate that 0 degrees of Aries point. And 0 degrees of Aries is basically the beginning. It is the start of a new cycle completely. It's the 1st degree of the zodiac. It's called, it's on the cardinal axis, or the world axis. So, whenever we have things happening at this degree, it affects all of us, as does, of course, the Aquarian energy. So Pluto in Aquarius with the moon in Aquarius means that, whatever is coming up is something that we are tuning into and experiencing at a collective level, which feels like, that is going to be the case for most of the year. So this is a really sort of potent time for really thinking about, something new and bringing the new in, but also, just tapping into that sort of pure potential. You don't always have to know what it is that you want to invite in, but it's about being able to move into and align with that creative potential. That is really important. So I wanted to also, as part of this video, introduce you to this new Oracle deck of cards that I have got. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It is the New Earth Oracle deck and guidebook, actually created by a friend of mine in Canada. And these cards are just so beautiful. They combine, there's a lot of astrological cards within this deck, along with galactic and fixed star and starseed energies. So for anybody sort of who, is familiar with the content that I share, this card deck is absolutely perfect. And so if you work with oracle cards, you know, this is a really beautiful deck to look at and consider buying. And I picked 2 cards from this deck. The first card is called Deep Listening. And if you have a look at that card, sorry, well, there's a bit of a glare there, isn't it? It is really, you know, she is lying on the earth. She has got her ear sort of facing, connected to the earth. And this is about sort of taking that time and that pause to really listen with the heart, not with the ears or the head. This is about coming into the heart and listening to what the heart has to say, but also listening with and through the heart, because when you do so, you are likely to hear things that you know, normally if we're listening with our head and our ears, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of distraction. When you drop into the heart and listen from that center, it allows you to hear things that maybe you just weren't aware of or connected to before. And for me, you know, I did a reading yesterday where I got a really strong message that for the client, it was really important for her to connect to the pulse of the universe. And this card really is kind of bringing that message for me forward again. So obviously it wasn't just for the client that I was working with. I feel this is a collective message. So the universal pulse, you might call it a hum, but it is that frequency that is just in everything. But I do feel that we've become disconnected from it because, you know, of our crazy lifestyles and our sort of propensity to be so much in the head. Having Jupiter in Gemini at the moment doesn't help because, you know, Gemini is the mind, Jupiter is expanding that. So there's just so much information and noise an activity going on, but this is a real invitation to try and step beyond that, out of that, even if it is for a moment. And this universal pulse it's in everything, but through the message I got yesterday, it was sort of encouraging us to really spend time looking at the sky, to gazing at the stars, and if possible, to sort of seeing the point within the Milky Way. So this is the galactic pulse that we were sort of invited to tune into, and really focusing on that blackness, that midpoint, so the galactic center effectively, because again, at that point, that is where all of creation comes from, and that's where we came from and where we are going back to. So a really gorgeous card there. And the other card is this one. This is called Initiation. And I hope you can see that. It is absolutely stunning, and the most gorgeous dog there, sort of watching. That kind of, for me, feels like a real faithfulness, like, you know, almost a spirit guide. But, you know, there's just so much light going on. It's like shards of light coming out. And also, if you can see at the top there, although this card is about initiation and it is about sort of stepping into a new way of being, which is what we are doing in 2025, and also sort of, you know, crossing that threshold, which again, you know, feels very apt for the first day of January. It is also kind of, I feel with this card, and obviously with oracle cards, you know, you're always going to see different parts, different sort of symbolism stepping forward. But I can see our ancestors there, you know, whether they are galactic ancestors, whether they are earth sort of bound or earth based. We have got lots of people, beings, energies, guides watching over us, observing. I want to say cheering on, because I feel, you know, there is a real sort of sense of celebration here, but also just having that sense of, you know, this ancient wisdom that is held within all of us, but is absolutely held within our ancestors, within our spirit team, within our star beings and our star guides, that, you know, is there available for us to attach or to connect into. So really, really beautiful energy, and perfect for the 1st of January 2025. So yeah, I said, you know, these cards are stunning. There's some of the archetypes, and we've got Black Moon Lilith there, so you know, that sort of feminine shadow into light. Really, really beautiful. Let me see. Oh my goodness, this one is gorgeous. Look at that shine. Just stunning. It's just beautiful, beautiful light. And then we have got some of the fixed star and starseed connection. So this is the Pleiadian. We've got Speaker, which is obviously one that a star that I work with. We have Orion, beautiful, with the pyramids and the Orion's belt there above. Nihao, a star that I'm very closely connected with. It's conjunct my midheaven, and this is a star that we associate with the blue ray. And then we've got the cosmic points as well, so the Shapley attractor, galactic center, super galactic center, and many, many more. Tau Ceti, embodiment. This one's gorgeous, stargazing. Again, this was something that I was sort of guided to share with, you know, yesterday, in terms of connecting to something bigger than ourselves. And that is effectively what Galactic Astrology helps us to do. So I'm going to leave the sort of link in where you can find these cards, where you can buy them, because they're absolutely gorgeous. It comes with a guidebook as well, and there's some, obviously, you know, it explains the message of the card, but it doesn't go into too much detail, because I think with these cards in particular, there is so much in the actual imagery and the design, and you know, the picture of the card. This one is Hadar in Centauri. Gorgeous. So yeah, I hope that that has sort of given you some, I don't know, inspiration, some ideas, and maybe a message that you were meant to hear and receive and take forward today. So sending you so much love. I will be back soon with more content, and, you know, all the best for an amazing year.